I know, football boots are expensive, and if you don't want to, or simply just can't, spend 270 euros or even more sometimes on a pair of high-level football boots, this video is for you. Because today I'm gonna list what I think are the 5 best football boots for under 150 euros. And the good thing is that all of the boots on the list are actually still very good boots. So without further ado, let's get you some value for money, shall we? We start off in 5th place with the Vapor 14 Pro, which is actually a really solid boot, but obviously also a little less high-tech and maybe a little less streamlined than the Vapor 14 Elite, the high-end version. However, the good thing about the Pro is that it carries over this componentized upper concept, so it has the same DNA and the same blueprint as the Vapor 14 Elite, but for pricing reasons mostly, the materials are also a little bit cheaper. And sure, I'll be honest, the fit and the feel in the boot is of course a little different, but in the heat of the battle, it still feels like a Vapor 14. You still get that very sharp touch on the ball. It feels responsive, so same but different, and still, for 140 euros, I actually think it's a pretty good product. And you can say the same thing about the Mizuno Morelia Neo 3 Pro. I mean, otherwise, it wouldn't be on the list if it's not a good boot. But anyways, this is gonna leave a 120 euro sized hole in your wallet. It's a lot of money, but it's not that bad after all, because there's value for money in this bad boy. The good thing is that you get the same leather forefoot as the 200 euro Elite, which is also good value for money, and you also get a slightly more comfortable internal heel counter. Plus, the boot still manages to maintain at least some of that trademark Mizuno comfort thanks to a really soft and solid leather midfoot. And sure, it doesn't have the same coolness factor of the Nike swoosh or the Adi stripes or the PUMA foam stripe, but hey, if it's bang for the buck you're after, this is a pretty solid option. However, there is also the Nike Tiempo Legend 9 Pro, which actually took me quite a lot by surprise when I first got them in my hand, because sure, you can tell if you're really looking at it that it's not as nice and premium as the Legend 9 Elite. And haters will say that, oh, it's calf leather instead of K leather on the Elite, and the mesh tongue isn't as stretchy, and you get this normal heel liner instead of the suede one on the Elite. But to them, I say that I don't really care, because the touch and the fit is more or less spot on, and personally, I wouldn't mind wearing these instead of the Elites for a couple of matches. And I think it's gonna fool a lot of people into thinking that this could easily be the Elite. Hell, it fooled me for a couple of seconds when I took them out of the box. So it does a really extraordinary job of feeling a lot like the Elites, but without all the bells and whistles on, and for 130 euros. And honestly, this might be one of the best takedown models I have ever seen released. Because they're good. They're real good, guys. However, the Legend 9 Pro has one problem. And that problem is called the PUMA Ultra 2.3, which is also 130 euros, but in my book, just a little bit better. Now, the thing is that PUMA have used the same concept as the Vapor 14 and the Legend 9 Pros, which is using the same blueprint as the 1.3, so the top model, but then just changed the materials into something different and slightly cheaper. But somehow it also feels like PUMA took some inspiration and sprinkled some 1.2 inspiration over the 2.3 as well, since we get that really thin, soft foam inner liner, and also the boot feels a little bit wider and slightly more accommodating, as was the case on the 1.2 before PUMA changed things up on the 1.3 and made it a little bit slimmer. So is the 2.3 better than the 1.3? Nah, I wouldn't say that, unless you had a tough time changing from the 1.2 to the 1.3s, in which case, these will probably fit you like a dream. And also, it's just ridiculously good for the money. But guys, before we do the big reveal of number 1, there are a few other good value for money honorable mentions that we should look at. For instance, on the Predator Freak.2, you get the demon skin rubber spikes for €140, which is definitely decent if that's what you want. There's also the PUMA FUTURE 2.2, which gives you some of that same unique fit from the Fusion Fit band as on the top model. There's the New Balance Furon 6 Plus Destroy, which is relatively comfortable and soft and nimble as well. And finally, there's the Nike Premier 2, which is just €100 and something that you just never ever go wrong with, if you like classics. But after thinking quite long and hard about it, for me, the best boot for under €150 in 2021 is, and I know this might come as quite the surprise, the Lotto Solista 203. Which is admittedly a pretty stupid name. But this thing is €140, and the funny thing is that it's Lotto's top model. So that's a pretty good price point. But what you get here is a really lightweight boot with this super soft, very thin, comfortable, and really sleek, low-profile knitted upper that just fits from the second you get it on. And it fits well. And if you're out there missing the Vapor 13, this is a really good, pretty responsive alternative as well. And okay, it might not have exactly enough lockdown to really compete with the top-end speed boots out there, but for €140, the value you get in this is absolutely ridiculous, and it's a bit of a hidden gem. So don't sleep on it. So there you go, my friends. What I think are the best 5 boots for under €150 in 2021. And let's just be honest and say that it's been a good year. The brands are treating us well, because I don't remember any other year where we've had this much value for money for that price. I mean, no matter which of these boots you buy, you're gonna get a hell of a good deal. And you can actually buy all of the boots in the link to unisportstore.com right over there. But before you go and shop your brains out, tell me what you think is the best value for money boot in your opinion in the comment section right down below. Now, of course, you shouldn't also forget to make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notifications on. And then you can actually go and learn how to improve as a footballer in the playlist right down there. With those words, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.